Right, hi, so I've come around to the other side of the site now. This is just on the back where the hill fort is over in that direction, and we are now at a side where the slower and shallower river came through, so the big peninsula is in the middle and the river goes around the other side. And I'm here with Kirill Kapustin, who's one of the directors and head of this trench here, and he's very excitingly looking for evidence of how boats or ships were used where they were taken up. The other river was too fast flowing and too big to really be very practical for taking your boats up. So what they did was they came around this side and here actually we think did all the boat repair, pulled the boats up and so on, because Kirill has been finding some really cool evidence of this. They've been trying to trace the original course of the river. So at the moment this is all just a plain field, the river's no longer here, but they've been looking at the soils and the clays to try to trace it. And what they found now in this trench is very exciting. Kirill's just been showing me these bits here, so do you want to explain what we've got here, these lighter patches?
Yeah, of course. We for several years we're trying to find some evidences of the using of this site of this territory for moving boats on the coast. And here we found some channels that is filled by with the sand. And it's very interesting because in the upper layer we have the traces of these channels. Over there we have another channel, and you see here not only in the stratigraphy this channel, but here on the planography. It's have several periods of using, and divided with the layer of the clay here.
Yes, this one, darker one. Yeah.
That is why we can see that this place was used for a long period of time for moving boats on the beach and to the river.
That's so cool. So actually you have evidence that this is exactly where they would be pulling the boats up, and these are the channels cut and then the tracks formed by the boats. That's really cool. And this is we're really interested in that, because back home looking at Viking ships in England and where you're using the rivers in exactly the same way, we don't get any evidence of this preserved.
It's very interesting because in Ukraine we have only 2 sites where we can find, where archaeologists already found this type of the objects.
Yeah.
The first one is Vypovzyv, where we stand right now, and there is another one is Shestovitsa. Is maybe 40 kilometers from the Vypovzyv. And that's all.
Yeah.
It's very rare finding, but it's very interesting because it's show us how the river navigation could be, how they use their boats, and maybe in future we can say what type of boats they use, because it's very interesting thing that we can reconstruct this.
Yeah. Well, that's really cool. And you're starting to find some more. Let's go to the other bit. You're finding some more evidence of things being used and made, haven't you? So look.
This place was used for almost century, maybe less, maybe more.
Yeah.
But we have different layers that we can reconstruct. Those channels that we have, it can be dated on the middle of the 10th century, maybe the first half of the 10th century.
Okay.
But here we have the earliest object we have here in this trench, and it marked the I don't know, maybe at the beginning of the 10th century.
Cool.
This is speed. We don't know the exact for what it was made, but we have some pottery finding from this, and it's actually really medieval times.
Right. Okay.
We need to
have a look and see what
to see it more, but you see specific ornament.
Yeah.
And it's really medieval times.
So So you can hopefully get some more dates and some
Yeah,
evidence
yeah,
of
yeah.
who he's been using it.
Here we have different materials from the Iron Age till the 12th century.
Yeah.
But this layer is actually 10th century one.
Yeah, so that's exactly what you want. And over there you found something which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, we found here the nails for both.
Yeah, so you found one small tiny nail, which I'm getting really, really excited about because it may well be a boat nail or a ship nail.
Yeah.
And we know that because of the shape of it, because it's got a rivet on the other side. So it's got the nail head on one side and then a rivet. And that's very specific for clinker-built ships. So these are ships where you have two overlapping planks of wood like that, and then a rivet goes in between to put them together. And nobody here was using those before.
This is actually the first finding of boat nails over here, and we saw that maybe in a few years we will have the full collection.
Yeah,
or maybe
full
even
boat.
the boat here.
And what's so really, really exciting is that this type of technology is brought here really by the Scandinavians.
Yeah.
Because nobody, the
Scandinavians was the leaders of shipbuilding
Exactly.
in the medieval time.
So you wouldn't have this sort of nail here if you didn't have a Scandinavian presence.
Yeah.
Exactly. So this really is what looks like the first evidence, real evidence that you have Scandinavian boat technology. And obviously you've had other Scandinavian artifacts around here, you've had other material culture.
Yeah, of course. We have a lot of really Scandinavian type of findings here.
Yeah.
And it's as I said, Scandinavians were the people who came here at the borders as the traders, and they really changed this situation here because they brought here not only the new technology of shipbuilding, but also the new things that they collect in Far East.
Yeah, exactly. So this is the network, and it links the Eastern world, and then they go up the rivers and they go back to Scandinavia and over to England as well. So it's bringing it east and west. But this is really exciting. It's also really useful because we know that this happens, but we don't know exactly how. We don't have so many sites where we've got the evidence of exactly how boats are being used, how they're being repaired, and how they're interacting with the environment. So yeah, this is super exciting. So hopefully, fingers crossed, more of these.
The first finding we
Yeah.
have.
We'll have a few more. Brilliant, thank you.
Thank you very much.